Hello everybody, my name is Christian Quick and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making the crop block. So this is going to be the final of this three-part where we made the sand till, and then it's going to make the sand land. Now we are going to need a crop that is going to be on that sand land. And another thing that I'm trying out is that I have the full screen bar is gone, so you can give me some input on that. I'll probably talk about it later. But anyways, for now, the first thing that we are going to want to do is, well, what is the first thing that we need for a crop? Well, I'm going to be using carrots as our example. So let's look at the blocks first. So look at the blocks class, and then we are going to look at carrot, and then we are going to go down to the carrots block. Now from here, we're just going to go all the way up to where it basically says new. Control C. We're going to copy this, and then go in your blocks, and then we just need one. Actually, it doesn't really matter. So let's Control C, Control V. So I just chose this one because it's the shortest. And then let's make the crop that we are going to be making. Let's call this a sandy carrot because we are going to be basically copying the carrots block. Here we can do the same thing. We'll call it a sandy carrot. And let us start by Control Z. Control Z. Oh, because I copied the, okay, blocks. Didn't mean to do that. Control C. Blocks. And then from here, Control V. And then from here it says that there is going to be an issue. Just go to in, make a little comma, and then tell it what mod group you're going to be putting this in. So we'll put this in mod blocks, and suddenly everything looks fine. So now we have our carrots block, and in our carrots block we have it returning our items.carrot. Now this is going to be what item do you want to return when it's finished harvesting, basically. And if I want it to be a carrot, that's perfectly fine. If I don't want it to be a carrot, it doesn't have to be, but for either way, even if we wanted this to be a carrot or if we didn't, we would have to go through the crop block, and we're going to have to change that anyways. So let's go in our blocks, new Java class, and let's call it the sandy carrot block. Or we can just, yeah, block. We'll call it sandy carrot block. And in there, we are going to go in our carrots block, and we're going to copy the extends, Control C, and we are going to Control V. And it's going to say, whoa, there's an issue. Just call that the same as your thing here. And now it says your thing is fine. I'm going to have this be items sandy carrot, so we are going to have to add an item, but let's focus on that later. Right now, this is extending your crop block, and the thing about a crop block is, let's go into it for a second. And this says that you can only place it on farmland. Now, this is the part that we're going to need to change. So we're also going to need to make a new Java, and we're going to make a mod crop block. And then we are going to take our crop block, and then we are going to take the entire thing. And guess what? If you guessed it right, I'd still be amazed. We are going to paste it. All right. So at the top, we are going to use a mod crop block, and so now we have the thing. It's implementing, but now it is not being used. So let's go in our thing. Let's call it mod crop block, and then this isn't being used. So let's go in our mod blocks, and then let's call it the sandy carrot block. So now this is being used, which is taken from the mod crop, and now here it says farmland. If this is can plant on top of, you can set this to whatever block you want. So if I wanted this, let's put this here, and then we're going to do floor dot is of mod blocks dot sandland. You can see that in this case, I could put the sandy carrot on both farmland and sandland. However, if I wanted it to just be one, just return the floor to whatever you want. this will be applied to any crop block or like farm block that you want. If you want it to be added to multiple, you just would have to keep putting the and or symbol for each floor that you want it to be attached to. But that's the only thing that you really need to change because that is your plant on top of, so that fixes the thing. So right now our sandy carrot can only be placed on top of Sandland, and you cannot put it on regular farmland. So that is what we're looking for. Get available moisture, so blocks.farmland. Let's make this mod blocks, and we will call this Sandland. Mod. Oh, I was like, what? Mod blocks dot Sandland. There we go. There is that. Let's just go Control C, and then let's look up farmland. And then here it's talking about get the farmland block dot moisture, and we don't want that. So here we are going to want to get Sandland moisture, and then you can see that the results are 0. If you go up to the top, sometimes something, when you're getting rid of something, it'll like be grayed out. I don't actually have an example. It may have been taken out automatically, but that is everything that you need to fix. So crop is completely done. Now in our crop block, we don't need to look at that. So in our city carrot block, is there anything in here that we need to do? We need to change the carrot. So we are going to need to make an item. So let's make an item. And let's look up how the items class looks for carrots. So we are going to look up the carrots. Not carrot on a stick. Carrot, golden carrot, carrot on a stick, carrot. And then here we can see the new aliased item. This is what we're copying. Control C. And then mod items, and then we are going to do, well, I can't copy it, so we're going to type it out. Item, and then here we're going to call it the sandy carrot equals register item sandy carrot. And then from here we can do this new, and then let's paste. Ooh, I already had new in here. New aliased block. And it says that there is a problem. It doesn't like the fact. Okay, let's go in our mod blocks. I think it's because this is called a sandy carrot that it's not liking it. So let's call this sandy carrot block. Sandy carrot block. And let's go in our mod items. So now, yeah, so now this is fine. Sandy carrot. Why are you not? Okay, I have no idea what that was about. Alright, so we're from here, we just need to call this the sandy carrot. And then we are going to call this sandy carrot. I would just suggest that if you have that problem, just copy the whole thing, and then just copy the after new, and then just paste it in here, and then you'll end up with basically this result. So anyways, mod blocks dot sandy carrot block. I'm assuming the issue was called because they can't be called the same thing. And then here there is an issue, so all we have to do is just get rid of one parenthesis, and then we are set. So food components like carrot. This would basically be if I wanted to give it to act like a carrot, but we could add our own the food, and then we could do like the new like food component, the builder, and then we can add some crazy stuff. Why don't we actually do that a little bit? Let's do the new food component but instead of regeneration, let's copy until build Control C. Let's Control V, and then there is a thing. But let's say instead of regeneration, let's do hunger. If you wanted to do, I actually simply just did this. We could have it so from here, you have your new settings, and then from your, actually from food, and then if you want your settings back. That would make your code look a lot cleaner than what mine looks like, and then dot status effect. So this would be the clean version. But sometimes when I have a bunch of stuff, I literally just kind of, because if I'm not going to change it, um, so this would be like the part where you can see the whole thing, but then when I'm done, I literally just take it back, and then I just put it back like that. I just throw it up, and then every time I make something after, I just kind of put it through here. So it's just stuff to make it look good. So now, basically, we have our sandy carrot item. So let's go in our sandy carrot block, return, and then let's call it mod items, and then we are going to call it the sandy carrot. So here we got rid of, remember what I was talking about earlier with the grayed out? This is what they look like. So if you ever see this, you can just take those out because we replaced it with mod crop block, and then we replaced this with the mod items, the sandy carrot. So now, that should just about be everything. If I have my mod blocks, it points to, well, the block, it's the special block itself, but this is there. You know, it ticks randomly. That's very important. I think I talked about that in the last video. But our sandy carrot is saying, hey, basically return our sandy carrot to us. And then, I mean, it's already got that growing and stuff. And then we have in our items, because we have our mod block. Our mod block says that we can plant it on top of just Sandland. And we have the item itself, the sandy carrot. So all we have to do from here is we need to start putting in the registry stuff and things like that. So because this is a farm piece, we are going to need to do the same thing that we did last time. It does only have one block state and stuff like that. So why don't we go into data, Minecraft. I'm actually gonna not use the outside folder just so that you can kind of see how this works. So Minecraft, this wasn't even data, this is assets, Minecraft, block states, and then from here I want to search what I'm looking for. Carrots, right? And it's talking about the block, and then here is all the stages, so we can just Control C, copy this, scroll up to the top, and then from here block states, and then here we would call our file sandy carrots, sandy carrot block, because that is the block that we are looking at. Remember, items cannot be placed in the world, so everything after this is going to specifically be the block. If you want to just simply call it like carrots, like with an S, and then just call, or if you want to call this sandy, oh no, I don't know, whatever you feel. If you just want to make it plural so you don't have to write block, completely up to you. Just looks a little nicer. But moving on, Control F. We are going to need to change carrots stay 0. Let's actually call these. No, I didn't mean to plus it. I wanted to select all of them. So we'll call it sandy carrots, and then each one will have its own stage. Why is there 2 stage zeros? 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Oh, so it looks like there is only 4 textures. If you wanted to put in more textures, you would simply point that out in the model. So, and stuff like that, models and textures. So it looks like there is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So beyond that, another very important thing, we're going to type in the Minecraft, and we are going to change this into HMH3, and then we have to make 4 models, because apparently that is all there is. I thought I had to make like all 7. You can make all 7, but I'm not going to go that ridiculous. Alright, coming back down, block states is done, models, block, and then from here we can look up the carrots, and then here you have carrot stage. Now this, I would only have to copy one of them in our block model, carrot, and then remember to do sandy carrots, and this would be stage 0. So we'll hit OK, and the only thing that you would need to change is HMH3, blocks carrots, and then make sure this says Sandy carrots stage 0. And then from here, just copy it. So change this to 1, then change this to 1. Oop, that's 2. Change that to 1. Change this to 2. Oop, 2. Change this to 2. And then change this one to 3. And then change this one to 3. And the only thing that we would need to work on after this is both the Sandland texture as well as the carrot. Since it is returning the carrot, we don't need the actual block itself. That would be a little bit odd, but is there a block state for it or an item state? Let's close it up and find out. I think it would only be the carrot. It wouldn't make sense to make a, well, you could, but let's look up carrot and carrot on a stick. So it doesn't. Let's go in. Let's call this Sandy carrot block. And then here we're going to call it Sandy carrot block. And from there, that should point a block, so it won't be missing texture, right? Parent block, and then it's basically take the block when it's finished and should put it out. If there's a problem, there might be a problem. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason Minecraft didn't do that. Textures, we're gonna have to make a block and item. Why don't we do the extra data stuff first before we get into the textures and leave the textures for the last thing? So, not data. Let's go into lang, because I'll always forget about this. And then for the item is the Sandy carrot. And then here we're going to call it Sandy carrot with 3 R's. We don't need that. I'm going to separate this. That way I now can quickly identify here's all my items, here's all my blocks, and then we'll Control D, and then here we will call it Sandy carrot block. Make sure your comma's here, otherwise the whole thing will have a head stroke. Carrot block. All right. And now that that is in, trying to think if there's anything else that we possibly need before we need to jump into textures. I think oh wait, now in our data gen we can do a model provider, and we can add this for our item. So here would be the Sandy carrot. This would be generated. So let's we are gonna have to actually add a loot table. So let's go in, this would actually be under data. This one would be under data. Data, Minecraft, loot tables, blocks, and then we would have to look up the carrots block. So we're going to actually come up. Let's shove this in a safe place for now. Let's just shove it in there. We need to make a new thing in, actually, it's not supposed to be in block states. It's supposed to be in data, but we don't have a loot table. So let's make a new directory called loot tables. And now that, it was supposed to be in our HMH3 folder. Just like that. Now our loot tables are in there. Now let's shove the carrots in here, and let's rename this to Sandy carrot block. And now we have all this. So we're going to change Control F. There we go. Minecraft carrot, and it should be. I only knew about 2 places. So carrots. Oh. Interesting. I don't even know what that means. Conditions. Block state property. I have no idea. Let's change the caret. So first thing, this is going to have to be HMH3, and then this would be Sandy caret. And then this is talking about the block, which would be HMH3, Sandy caret block, odd. And then this one would be HMH3, Sandy caret. So now when we break the caret, it should be fully functional. If I wanted to, before I make the textures, remember what I said earlier about just putting random textures in? Why don't we try that before we get real crazy? Funny enough, why don't we make the the heart things? So let's call this Sandy caret, and then we'll do underscore stage 0. And then let me make sure that that's correct. It's carets. Refactor, rename. Carets. Refactor. And then refactor, rename, just so that I can copy this. Control C. And then let's Control V. And then Control V. So then we got stage 1. Then we're going to do this. Control V. This would be stage 2. And then we got this one. Control V. And this would be stage 3. So we have Sandy carets. So now let's take a look if this is working in the world. Alright, here we are in the wonderful world of Minecraft, and here we can look up, actually in here, we can look up our Sandy carets block. And, oh, I forgot to add the item, so we're going to do /give at s hmh3 Sandy caret. And I also forgot to add the block. It doesn't seem that the block is finished. Oh. Oh. I mean, it's growing. That's pretty good. And then one more stage. Come on, one more stage. And then this also. The caret is the main thing, because when we place the caret, that is the big boy. That is the big news that we need. So from here, this one is now done. Let's go in survival. If I break this, uh-oh. Alright. For some reason, the loot table here didn't work. I'm not entirely too sure what had happened. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get a loot. Oh, because I didn't put it in blocks. Okay, that makes sense. So let's let's come up to our loot tables. Let's add a directory called blocks, and then we are going to let's shove this in there. So that was first mistake. Second thing, for the item, let's use the bagel, and let's call this the Sandy caret, because that was another thing that I have forgotten to do. Don't forget to run your data gen and then run the client. Alright, here we are in our beautiful Minecraft world, and the Sandy caret is working. The Sandy caret block is not. I kind of expected this not to work because Minecraft didn't do it, so I'm assuming that is why it doesn't work. But now when we click on our Sandy, on our blocks here, it's so confusing to look at the bush and then want to call it a crop and then get a bagel from it, and then it's called a Sandy caret. The main basis is it drops our carrots, and then we can replant those carrots. So we now have something with multiple growth stages and stuff like that. Alright, last thing before we get into the final part, which is texturing. Let us go into our client, and we are going to need Control D and mod blocks. We are need to get a render cutout for the mod blocks Sandy caret block, and I believe that this is going to render a layout for every single block state that it automatically has. It'll cut it out. So with that in mind, it'll get rid of the black in every stage because that looks interesting. So that will fix that issue. And from there, I mean, it generally works. So let's just texture everything and then just see the final result. Alright, welcome to this part of the video where the editing version of this comes out. And this one was a doozy. I wanted to make it look like sand, and so I just kept cutting back and forth between each single pixel by its color. I wanted it to look like sand, so I said, what's the average color between each level of green and then just this one piece of sand? So it didn't come out as good looking as I would have expected it to have been, but I mean, it came out. I put in the time for it, so then I said, good enough. But this is the last video for the mod crops. So now we gotta do some stuff with the buckets and the fluid and stuff like that. So once we get in through there, then we're gonna start moving in. That'll be the end of chapter 2. Um, and then we're going to get into chapter 3. So I feel like that is when a lot of things are going to be picking up, because that is materials. We're going to be making some armor, some tools, and stuff like that. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, things that you want to see first, things like that, I'm gonna mention this all the time. I'm gonna get on your case about it. But I'm still excited. I was feeling a little drained, but I just needed some sleep, and I'm feeling a lot better now. So I'm super excited to get on with these videos as I continue to make them. Continue on. Let's go. I'm ready. Um, and another thing is, like, every time I come out with a video, every idea, every block and item I think of is like brand new in my brain. Like, I don't want to copy anything from the mod, so I just be like, what's a brand new block? What's a brand new item? What's a brand new purpose that I can bring to something? And then I just bring it right in. But once I fulfill that purpose, no matter how small it is, it's just a tutorial series. This is just supposed to give you the basic idea, and then at the very end, hopefully I would have learned something. And then when I do this series again, I gotta see everything that I basically have done wrong, and then I gotta do it 100 times better. Trust me. I got some things, I got some notes putting down, I got some ideas going through, but I'm not gonna really put everything together and start changing the plot until everything's all put through. But by the way, I'll probably talk more about this stuff just as the videos go on. So with that all out of the way, let's get back into the video. Alright, here we are in our beautiful Minecraft world. I have to be really careful. So it seems that for our farmland, it breaks instantly. So we could probably get rid of that. Or I think what we need to do actually is give it a strength. But beyond that, if I just make sure that I'm only farming the carrots, you can see that they drop the sandy carrots when they are fully grown, and then we can plant our sandy carrots on the ground. We can also eat some carrots, and you can tell that they give us some hunger. They give us hunger 10, and it's only a 50% chance. So you can change it to whatever you want, but as you can tell, I just ate some carrots, didn't get the effect because it's only 50% chance. But that is going to be it for crops, at least. We have some more stuff coming in that's food related. So we're not done with the food section quite yet, but that is all to the crops video. So basically now you should know how to put a mod crop on, a mod crop on mod farmland. If you wanted to talk about the initialization, you would be able to put this. Now, I have it not, but you would know how to put a mod crop on a new farmland, basically. And then the only thing that you would need is, well, Minecraft. The Minecraft item itself, like the carrots, you can't control them because they're not yours. My goodness. You can't control them because they're not yours. So when it comes to when it comes to taking something of Minecraft, they can't affect it like that. There might be a way to try and like re-register it by like adding it to. There are some things that you can do that with, but this, as far as I know, is not the case. So that is going to be all for our crops. If you have any questions, you can try and write them in the comments. I'll try and get to them. If you want any ideas or video stuff like that, you can write that in the comments below as well. But anyways, for now, that's going to be all. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,